Welcome back to the Morning Show here on Arise News. I'm Biola Lavi.
Welcome back. I'm Veronica Deca.
Former Ekiti State Governor in southwest Nigeria, Mr. Ayodele Fayose, has been in the news lately. Before we go into the discussion with his media aide to the embattled former governor, Mr. Lere Olayinka, let's listen to this short video on the former Ekiti State Governor, Ayodele Fayose. Let's take a look.
Ayo Fayose made something of a triumphant return to Ekiti State Government House a little over 4 years ago, after he won the 2014 governorship election on the platform of the People's Democratic Party. His major opponent was the then incumbent and candidate of the All Progressives Congress, Dr. Kayode Fayemi. When the outcome of the election was announced, the APC candidate, Dr. Fayemi, took the generally unusual step of calling the winner to congratulate him on his victory. But that wasn't the meat of the story. What made the headlines over a sustained period of time, even after the contest was over, was the interesting build-up to it, following the circulation of a video recording purportedly showing Ayo Fayose in the company of certain key functionaries of his party, allegedly hatching a plot to rig the contest. In the footage, too, was one Brigadier General Aliyu Momo, a former spokesman of the Nigerian Army, who had been severally accused of masterminding the execution of that sinister plot. So much noise was made about it, but at the end, Ayo Fayose was sworn in for a second term in office, having served in the same capacity for 4 years during the administration of former President Olusegun Obasanjo. In 2015, with Nigeria set to hold a general election against the backdrop of growing insecurity and a badly fractured polity, Governor Fayose emerged as almost the strongest voice from the camp of the ruling People's Democratic Party. His consistent defense of his party, its candidate and then incumbent president, Dr. Goodluck Jonathan, against the frequent attacks of the All Progressives Congress won him even fewer friends in the opposition camp. With the presidential election held and declared in favor of APC candidate Muhammadu Buhari, Ayo Fayose literally became a man in the eye of a storm. Remarkably, he refused to back down, and for the 4 years of his second coming as governor of Ekiti State, which terminated on October 16, 2018, it was a case of cat and mouse between the governor and the government at the center. Governor Ayo Fayose's badly damaged relationship with the presidency had been typified by the confiscation by the federal government of Ekiti State's federal allocation and the subsequent struggle to get the embargo lifted. However, with just a few months to the end of his tenure, matters came to a head when the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, declared its intention to arrest and bring him in for questioning on the very day the immunity he enjoyed as governor expired. EFCC said it had cast iron evidence that Governor Fayose fraudulently obtained the sum of 2.2 billion naira from the Office of the National Security Advisor and deployed same to rig the 2014 governorship election in Ekiti State. But Fayose was not going to give the agency that pleasure. A few hours after leaving office, instead of absconding as many expected him to do, he did the unthinkable and voluntarily turned himself in, announcing his arrival at EFCC's headquarters in Abuja, wearing a sweatshirt with the inscription, "EFCC, I'm here," emblazoned over his chest. The anti-corruption agency has since pressed the promised charges against former Governor Fayose, but on Wednesday, October 24, 2018, trial judge Morenikeji Olatoregu granted him bail to the tune of 50 million naira in bonds with a surety in like sum, as well as an order for the former Ekiti State Chief Executive to submit his international passport to the court.
Now here to discuss the tit-for-tat politics and war attrition between the two political gladiators in the state, the allegations of corruption against Fayose, and the governorship election that ushered Fayemi back to the government house, is immediate aide to the embattled former governor, Mr. Lere Olayinka.
Good morning and welcome to the show.
Good morning.
So it has been quite a busy, it's a busy tenure for you.
Very, very busy.
What do you have to say when people, first of all, why so much? Why must Fayose be so much? I'm sure people say that all the time, ask you that all the time.
There's this impression that, oh, why is it that he talks too much, he says a lot of things, and the reaction of people like us is, in a time like this, there must be someone. There must be someone that will stand up for the people. The person that will play that role will be someone that, someone that God can just, okay, you will be the person that will play this role. It doesn't matter who you are. People have played, even animals have played role in the Bible to assist people, to save people. Good enough, the person on who showed that this issue of speaking for the people felt this time happens to be Peter Ayodele Fayose. And let me tell you, he's an Ekiti person. An average Ekiti person is a bold and courageous person. Ayodele Fayose is a bold and very courageous person. And he is someone that will not be comfortable while others are cheated, while things are not done normally. And that is that has been the reason. And I, for one, today, I feel proud. I'm proud that to be associated with him. Because today, when you talk about position, it's almost synonymous with that personality. I've seen the level of support demonstrated by Nigerians in the last 2 weeks. It has been overwhelming.
So last week we saw Governor Fayose go to the EFCC as he said he would. I mean, it was highly publicized that he would, and he went in high style. I don't know if we call it high fashion, but high style.
Yes.
In high style. Yes. What is the status now of Fayose and EFCC? What is going on with that case? I saw that. I mean, we saw from the video that he has been granted bond.
The status is simple. He was charged to court, and by law, he is presumed as innocent until so declared by the court. The court granted him bail on Wednesday on certain conditions. As at yesterday, like 2 p.m., we were able to meet all the conditions, submitted the file to the court, and I am also aware that the documents submitted have been verified and submitted, and we are at the last stage of getting him out of the custody.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so when do you expect him to be out of custody?
Hopefully by Monday.
By Monday,
Yes.
okay. And what next for him? What does he plan to do next?
The next thing is for him to continue with his life. He's a politician and he will continue. You see,
Is he going to? I mean, is he going to continue and to support the party? What is his stand on the party?
He's a PDP person, inside out, and he's a defender of Nigerians. He's like the voice of the voiceless, and that is what is going to be. That is how he's going to remain. He's going to. You see, it is not. A lot of people miss a lot of things. It is not about President Buhari as a person. It is about the system that is not right.
What does Governor Fayose feel is not right about the system?
A lot of things are not right. For instance, if you say you are fighting corruption, you should fight corruption wholesale. You should not use like Senator Seusani said. You should not use deodorant when it involves your people, and use insecticide when it involves other people. When you want people to respect what you are doing, let it be general. Not when people are accused in your government and you just close your eye. For instance, I personally took petitions to EFCC against the present governor of Ekiti now, Dr. Kayode Fayemi. The House of Assembly did the same. The Secretary to the State Government also took petitions to the EFCC.
What were these petitions accusing?
A lot of issues. A lot of issues. A lot of...
Give us examples of those issues.
That should be 2016. For instance, the government then, when Fayemi was governor the first time, took 25 billion naira bond. When you are taking a bond, you list what you want to use the money for. We found out that most of the things listed in that prospectus were not done. And we took the prospectus to the EFCC. And we thought this bond was taken. The government then said they were going to buy cameras, buy vehicles, buy Okada, buy whatever.
But the time that this was taken, this petition should have been filed was actually when Jonathan Goodluck was in office.
No. 2015.
He filed it in 2015.
Yes.
But Fayemi was no longer...
Fayemi was no longer governor. And 2015, 2016, 2017, nothing was done. I am also aware of petitions against former governor of Rivers State, Rotimi Amechi. I am aware of the issue of the chief of staff to the president, Abba Kyari. Nigerians are aware of the one that they now got called the grass cutter, Babacha Lawa, former SGF. Nigerians are also aware of the NY certificate forgery involving the former Minister of Finance. Nigerians are aware of the Ikoyi Osborn Fund. Up till now, Nigerians, we don't know what happened to that issue. Okay. Nigerians are aware
so we are aware of plenty of petitions.
A lot of things.
We are aware of those things, and we're aware of we're all on the same page when it comes to fighting corruption. But what people have said, and what numerous videos have shown, is that Governor Fayose himself has also been accused of many issues of corruption, of rigging of elections, of colliding and planning to rig elections.
That is why I said something on Wednesday. Governor Fayose was accused of corruption. In 2003, he was governor of Ekiti, 2006.
Yes.
He was accused of corruption. He was removed from office unjustly. That is, the Supreme Court later came back to say that he was removed illegally, nullifying that impeachment. But during that period, Governor Fayose by himself went to EFCC. That you said I stole money. I am here. Investigate and probably prosecute me. And that was done. He was charged to court and the case dismissed. Then he became governor again. Oh, the same allegation. He took money from Dasuki. He did this. And when he left off, before he left office, he wrote a letter to the EFCC. I will be leaving office on October 15th, and by October 16th, I will be in your office. EFCC as the heir, because on July 15th, there was a tweet by EFCC, like saying, "Oh, now that PDP have lost election in Ekiti. Your immunity as governor, we end October, whatever, and we'll be waiting for you." That was unnecessary. That by EFCC was the most irresponsible, sorry to use that word, act by an organization of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
So but I think that let's take this. I mean, when you look at tweets, there has been a lot of discussions around when government handles tweet things. Sometimes it's because of the way these things are managed. So, granted, irresponsible, like you said, but also I think we can take that with a grain of salt. I think the biggest issue here, and one of the things that happened, is that Governor Fayose is also accused of popularizing the issue of stomach infrastructure. What do you have to say about that and how elections are coordinated in Ekiti State?
Well, I will answer your question on stomach infrastructure, but let me conclude this. On October 16, the governor went to EFCC as promised. That is how this country should run. And I'm also challenging those that have been so accused in the APC government. Those President Buhari's men that have been so accused to also do the same thing.
Are you guys going to give them your T-shirts to wear?
They can also do their own T-shirt. If they want us to do T-shirt for them, we'll do. They can also do EFCC up here. They should go and, like, for instance, the chairman of APC, Adam Oshiomhole, was accused of corruption. Somebody went to court to seek an order of mandamus for EFCC. Look at it, for EFCC trying to even force EFCC to investigate him. When it comes to PDP people, you don't go to court to compel EFCC to investigate. When they even see allegation on the page of the newspaper, bam, they go about looking for you. But this one, somebody went to court to say, "Court, please compel EFCC to investigate Adam Oshiomhole." Oshiomhole now went back to court to say, "Oh no, I should not be investigated." That man should behave like Governor Fayose. Go to EFCC and say, "Oh, here I am. You said you accused me of corruption. I have come to clear my name." Others should do like that. On the issue of stomach infrastructure, it is even in the Bible, Jesus Christ used 5 fishes to feed 5,000 people. Everywhere Jesus Christ went, he went about doing people, welfare of the people. Yoruba will say, "Ebi oki wonu koro mi ko wo." An hungry man is an angry man. If you are hungry, you won't listen to anything. Yes. You won't listen to any big pack of bawasu. That is what the Yoruba says.
So you feel that?
We feel that
you're justified.
It is justified. For instance, you see, now, if you look at other people, I have seen pictures of Vice President Oshibajo doing the same thing, going to the market, buying foodstuffs, whatever. I've seen even the present governor of Ekiti. I've seen pictures of where, even in the last 3 or 4 days, where he was at the pavilion in Ekiti, sharing food to the people, to some people. So it is when it involves the idea of an APC as a party. Sorry to mention that party. I understand that hypocrisy is their first name. When they are the one doing this, it is nice. It is good.
Why do you feel
when other people are involved in it, it is bad. If tomorrow that thing that they say is bad, if they happen to be the one involved in it tomorrow, they will. Like for instance, I told somebody this morning, they have been everywhere now saying Atiku is corrupt. That's the kind of PDP is corrupt. Is this? And I asked that person. In 2007, this same Atiku was candidate of Action Congress. Action Congress changed to Action Congress of Nigeria, ACN. ACN changed to APC. By that, Atiku was APC candidate, so to say, in 2007. So it means that he was not corrupt then. Suddenly, he's now in PDP. He's corrupt. For instance, if tomorrow Atiku goes back to APC, he will no longer be corrupt. That is what that is the way that party see issues, and it's unfortunate.
One of the things you've said is that there has to be one person, and Fayose has really spent the last 4 years being the voice of opposition, which it has almost been a Fayose against Buhari or Buhari versus Fayose. Do you feel that has distracted from the work that Fayose was meant to do in the state? And do you feel that sort of focus took away from attention from Ekiti?
It didn't. If it did, Fayose's government would not have been able to take Ekiti State in terms of education from number 34 position in NECO to number 1. We came first twice in NECO. Fayose would not have been able to build the first overhead bridge in Ado-Ekiti. Fayose would not have been able to build the first ICOT structure, proper ICOT structure. The ones that we had there was built during the Western Region period. Fayose would not have been able to refurbish the State Technical College. Fayose would not have been able to construct road everywhere. He would not have been able to build the first ultra-modern or Jaoba market in Ado-Ekiti. And mind you, that market was among the things listed in the prospectus of the 25 billion bond that the Finance government took then. They said they were going to build that market. They did billboards. They had the pictures everywhere. It was Fayose that came back to build the market. Go to the government house now. Fayose would not have been able to build the first purposely built governor's office in Ekiti. Go there, you'll see it.
So now one of the things you said is that Fayose is a PDP man, right?
Yes.
I mean, there's been popular knowledge around his original support for the PDP candidate, and now that Atiku has the ticket, how do you think Fayose and Atiku will fare going forward?
Well, let me tell you, Atiku and Fayose's relationship did not start today. When he was governor the first time, they were very close. When I say very, very close. Granted, Fayose supported another person to be PDP candidate. That person did not win. Atiku won. And on October 15, during the dinner organized for him in Abuja, the governor said openly, that he was going to fully support the candidature of Atiku Abubakar. He has made that known. Because there are two ways to go now. Way of the one that we are now, Buhari, that has dislocated everything in this country. And the one that we are looking forward to, Atiku. So if you are not supporting Atiku, it means you'll be supporting Buhari. And I don't see a Fayose supporting a Buhari anywhere. I don't see a Lere Olayinka myself supporting a Buhari because I know that person, Muhammadu Buhari, inside out. He cannot do more than his capacity. We have said it several times. It is not his fault. Don't blame him.
Do you believe all Nigerian politicians are corrupt?
No. You see, there's a problem we have in this country. There's so much attention on politicians. Politicians. Let me tell you today, even the acting chairman of EFCC, Ibrahim Magu, is saying that he is tackling corruption in EFCC. He has said that. Meaning that there is corruption even inside EFCC. Is EFCC controlled by politicians? You see, the major issue we have in this country is moral corruption. There is moral corruption. The society itself glorifies corruption. We have taken Nigeria to the level of the end. Just the end is what is important, not. So it is not about. It is about all of us. It is about all of us as Nigerians. It is about us. Even the one that I call moral corruption is more important. It's more endemic because people see you as when you are in public office, when you are living. The question is kilomumbo. That is the question. So and the moment you are taking over, you are covered by what I call moral corruption. There's nowhere you can, because even the law enforcement agencies everywhere, it is what is the percentage of politicians in Nigeria? What is the percentage of politicians? Like some people will say, oh, the National Assembly is corrupt, they are the one this. And I've asked question. Is the National Assembly in charge of award of contracts in this country? No. But because some people will just want to demonize a Bukola Saraki that they don't like. They now, is the federal, what is the role of National Assembly in the execution of contracts? What is the role? Before you can be paid for any contract in this country, I had executive position in Ekiti. I was DG of the State Radio and Television Station. Executive position. I approved money. I never saw check of Broadcasting Service of Ekiti State for once. I did not touch the check. I don't sign it. I don't even receive bank alert. Before you can take out one penny, the auditor must know about it. The DFA must know about it. The director of admin must know about it. Almost everybody.
But also, too, there's also an issue in the size of government and all these layers of bureaucracy, because through all these layers of bureaucracy, there's also, every layer has a cost. So that is also something that government needs to look at. But I know Veronica has a question.
I just wanted to know, because he kept talking about the fact that the former governor, I want to get back to the fact that he actually went to EFCC and had this T-shirt on that said, I am here, and you've spoken so many good things, of course, highly in favor of the governor. Now, based on what you're saying now with the corruption in Nigeria and how people are not accountable, do you think that he is the poster person for the accountability and to be transparent, since that seems to be the way forward that he seems to represent?
Well, if I get you correctly, the governor tried to set a standard. A standard that if they say you are a thief, the best way to go is to come out to say, I am not a thief, I am here.
Yes. Because
the moment you choose to run away, it is a kind of admittance of guilt. You have admitted that in truth you are a thief. So if other Nigerians can also take it from there, The moment they say, oh, you are a thief, okay, you say you are accusing me of stealing money. Okay, yeah. Come on, because until we begin to also do that, you see, when you don't, like I said the other time, the reason we are where we are, PDP government for 60 years set up EFCC, set up ICPC. Those are the two major anti-corruption agencies. And most of the people that were arrested and tried by EFCC then were PDP people. Former governors, ministers, everywhere. They were tried, some of them convicted under a PDP government. We are asking President Buhari to also release his people that have been accused.
So you're saying
to
honor the institution,
yes,
honor what
yes.
has been set up.
Don't, again, the best way to also, I've also told people.
EFCC is meant to be a non-partisan organization, and that's what you're calling out.
Then in this country, we glorify individuals. We don't build institutions. To fight corruption anywhere, you have to first of all make corruption unavailable to people. For instance, in this place, when I want to come and pay money for advert, I don't bring cash here. I pay into your account. Yes. I use POS to pay, whatever. You don't see cash. If I come here to drop, say, 1 million cash for an advert, at that time you are looking for money to pay your children's school fees. And that money, that cash, you can still keep it till Monday or Tuesday. Yes. You are likely to take part of it and go and pay yourself, hoping that where my salary is paid.
So I don't want us to get lost on this issue, and because we're all wrapping up, I just would like you to talk a little bit about 2019, the road to elections. What do you foresee, and what are the things that need to happen to make sure that some of the issues that happen in Ekiti's elections don't happen?
You see, as of today, every indicators point to one thing. 2019 is likely not going to work. I don't deceive myself. Because agencies of government that should be...
But sorry. You said it's not going to work. That is a very dangerous statement.
I'm coming.
Okay, please.
Agencies of government that are saddled with the task of conducting election have teamed up with one part, with a party, a political party. They have teamed up with the APC.
That's some serious allegations.
It is because, for instance, we had the election in Ekiti. On the day of that election, exactly 5 a.m. on July 14th, my two lines were compromised. My two lines, I started receiving calls, straight private call from unknown number, program call simultaneously, and that happened for 24 hours. And the idea was to make sure that I won't be able to communicate with anybody and be communicated with. For instance, again, on the night of July 13th, the chairman of Irepodu Federal Local Government by name Dapo Olagunju, his residence in Egede was invaded by armed policemen. In the night, he had some policemen as his security guard, and those ones also prevented the ones that came from gaining entrance to his house. In the process,
when you talk about 2019...
Let me finish this story because it is important. In the process, 2 of the policemen were arrested by Dapo Olagunju's security men. They were arrested. The next thing that happened was the police command in Ado-Ekiti to tell the DPO in Igede to bring the policemen that were arrested to Ado-Ekiti with those who arrested them. When they got to Ado-Ekiti, the policemen that were arrested were released. The ones who arrested them were detained for 1 week.
All right. So, I mean, what you've said is it's very concerning. There's a lot of concerns around 2019. What if, just to end, we're gonna end the show now. We're gonna end with you. Can you just tell us what are the 3 things that you want to see happen to make sure that we have fair?
INEC must be independent. INEC must be, and the first sign that INEC will be independent is to disqualify President Buhari. Because as of today, the man has not fulfilled the requirement to be a candidate.
That would be our job as citizens at the polls.
Listen. INEC said yesterday that if you have issues with people, with candidates they have listed, you should go to court. You can only go to court to challenge credentials submitted. As of today, President Buhari has not submitted any credential. So he is not qualified to be a candidate. INEC should,
No, that's a good note for you to end on. INEC should be independent.
INEC should be independent. Again, the security, because we the whole world saw what happened in Osun. We saw what happened in Ekiti. If that happened in 2019, some of us are worried. Security people should play their role as Nigerians, not appendage of APC and its candidates.
Okay.
Thank
you very much. We're completely out of time.
Thank you so much.
I mean, this was a lot. This is quite intense. So thank you so very much for coming on the show. We appreciate that. It's time now for a short break. When we come back, Jide Ayegbusi, Chief Education Officer of eduschool.com, a website dedicated to assisting parents in assessing institutions of learning and finding special needs schools will be joining us in the studio. Stay with us.